We're halfway through. Let's power through.
Oh my gosh, we got to get a rock and roll on. All right, do you want to read more, or are you done with reading?
I can try, but
You can do it. You can do it.
Amendment 5, annual adjustments to the value of certain homestead exemptions. The ballot summary, proposing an amendment to the state constitution to require an annual adjustment for inflation to the value of the current or future homestead exemptions that apply solely to levies other than school district levies, and for which every person who has legal or equitable title to real estate and maintains thereon the permanent residence of the owner or other person legally or naturally dependent upon the owner is eligible. This amendment takes effect January 1st, 2025. A vote yes would allow the homestead exemptions to be adjusted for inflation. A no vote would keep the homestead exemptions the same as current.
Yeah, so just a brief summary of where we're
Please
at now.
do.
So on your property tax bill, there are two exemptions on like county, city, all the special districts. There's 2 sets of $25,000 flat exemptions. School board only has 1. So what this is saying is that they're going to be able to annually adjust those non-school board exemptions for inflation. So they could go up. I don't know if they can come down below the $25,000 threshold, but the school board is exempt from the
Exemption.
not from the exemption, but like they can't adjust that one for inflation, so it would just stay at 25,000. So, but what this is going to do, and you know, I wear 2 hats in this equation because I'm a homeowner, but I'm also an elected city official. This actually, you know, if inflation is high like it is right now, your exemption is going to go up, so it's going to reduce your assessed property value.
Less tax.
So less tax going to the county and to the cities and the special districts,
Okay.
which I like paying less tax. But as a city official
What's the
that
problem?
just signed off on the budget, you know, the budget just passed last night, which, you know, we're stretched thin. We've got a lot of infrastructure projects. Like we already don't, you know, we don't have a real big commercial district in Lighthouse Point. So we don't have that commercial revenue.
And a lot of your tax-paying revenue residents
Are
are
homesteaded, yeah.
They're permanent residents.
So I can see this negatively impacting the local jurisdictions pretty heavily. Broward County doesn't need more money because they have a lot of money, but the cities.
cities.
And of course, the school board is the school board, and they're exempt from the inflation adjustment.
They're just like, give us more money so we can indoctrinate your children.
Right, for Palm Beach County, I came across for Palm Beach County.
Sorry, I'm just kidding. Give her tongue twisters all night. Sorry, I love you, Jen.
I came across a Palm Beach Post article that for Amendment 5, those eligible in suburban Palm Beach County would see an average annual savings on their tax bill under the county portion of about $120. This was quoted by Todd Von Leeren, who's a county administrator for Palm Beach County. That's the tax cut part. But the county government, which uses those tax dollars to pay for services such as fire rescues and libraries and programs for mental health and homelessness, could see about a $37 million less of the tax money in 1 year. So like Abby was saying, like there's a government side to it, and then there's a repercussion, and then there's the tax saving side for
The homeowners, yeah.
Because if there's less money coming into the government, then they have to cut services. That's how that works.
But the argument could be said. I mean, this isn't at the local level; it's at the state level. But like, if there's more money in residents' pockets, they're spending more money at the store. They're enhancing the local economy.
It's true.
I mean, there's arguments. The conservative in me says vote yes on this because it's going to reduce your property tax bill.
Tax break.
You know, the city commissioner in me is like, oh, that's less money for the city.
Well, I'm not a city commissioner, so
the RPOF is saying yes on this
because they're conservative Republicans,
Right.
But yes on tax, no on taxes.
Right.
Down with the taxes.
Right.
Taxation is theft.
Yes.
Right. So
Into the ocean.
I'm
We're dumping something in the ocean. We don't have a harbor here, so I mean, we have a harbor, but we're anyway.
And a lot of people don't understand our homestead anyway. You know, like if you're homesteaded, you only go up 3%. This just allows that additional, $25,000, to be
non-taxable.
non-taxable.
Yeah.
So
there we
like
go.
if your house, so it would be what? Like if your house is worth, $200,000, you'd pay $175,000 instead of based on $200,000.
Is that right?
The tax would be assessed on, I mean, technically for county and city, $150,000 because it's two $25,000.
Because there's one $25,000 already in
So
place.
one of the 25,000 then could.
I don't know if it's one or both.
Okay, so in theory, so let's say your house is $200,000 at an assessed value, and now
Currently, it would be
currently.
reduced to $150,000.
right. So with
assessable value.
this, it could be reduced to 140 or 135 or whatever, just based off of the inflation.
Correct.
So is it the percentage? Okay, is it real inflation or is it like Biden inflation, where they say the inflation is only this percent? What do they say? What do they
Let
say?
me
It's
see
at
what they-
9%,
let me
but
see the
groceries
full
have
text.
increased 50%.
Let me see what the
The
full
Biden
text is. If they
numbers
put
or
like
the
a
real
specific-
numbers
Yes, exactly. Thank
that
you.
come out 2 weeks later.
Come out 2 weeks later. Or the ones that we see at the grocery store. I mean, when they come in and they tell me, I'm like, oh, inflation's only up like 8%. I'm like, excuse me, ma'am. Olive oil.
Abby and her olive oil, or not Abby,
Josie.
Josie and her olive oil.
So
It's
this is
because
what
it's the one thing I remember and I can measure in metric.
this is what the full text says in section 2, page 2 of 8. The $25,000 amount of assessed valuation exempt from taxation provided in subparagraph A1B shall be adjusted annually on January 1 of each year, which is when your property's assessed. That's what the value is assessed. Each year for inflation using the percent change in the consumer price index for all urban consumers, U.S. city average, all items 1967 is like the base year 100, or successor reports for the preceding calendar year as initially reported by the U.S. Department of Labor, Bureau of Labor Statistics.
So it's basically-
So if the percent change is positive in the CPI, they're going to take that percentage change and they're going to multiply your exemption value by it.
Okay.
And it's going to go up by the amount of the CPI,
Okay.
by the amount of the percentage change of the CPI year over year. That's the formula.
Okay. So it's Biden. It's what's coming from the consumer, right? The pricing
Yeah.
increase. Okay.
Yeah, CPI.
CPI. All right.
All right.